They may smile and hug in public, but in private, tensions are boiling between Donald Trump and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Now Newsom just punched Trump where it hurts. And hard. Welcome back to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. With Donald Trump returning to the White House this week, the incoming, twice-impeached, convicted felon and adjudicated rapist president wasted no time in taking advantage of national tragedies for his own personal purposes. Those include the destruction wrought by Hurricane Helene, which hit the Atlantic coast last fall, and the wildfires in and around Los Angeles earlier this month. Both tragedies have displaced people from their homes, shuttered businesses, and will cost hundreds of millions of dollars to raise and repair. In the case of the California fires, Trump began politicizing the disaster before he even returned to office. He attacked Governor Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass for negligence, going so far as to accuse them of creating the calamity. Remember this?
This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it.
Trump also blasted Bass and Newsom multiple times on social media, going so far as to refer to the California governor as new scum. Always so classy, that Donald. Once again, for the record, speaking as a Californian and someone displaced by the fires, you can find my other videos I filmed while evacuating here on our channel. Water was not the issue. This was an unprecedented crisis. Trump's claims that Los Angeles or the state of California somehow engineered this disaster are ludicrous, as is Trump's claim that Los Angeles rejected water from Northern California. The water reserves he is talking about are more than 500 miles away from the area, and we lack the infrastructure to transport them here. No wonder Newsom has finally blown his stack at Trump. Donald Trump also announced that he would tour the disaster areas around Los Angeles late today. He didn't exactly make himself ready for a warm welcome, though. While touring North Carolina and the destruction of Hurricane Helene, Trump had this to say earlier today.
No conditions you're going to push for aid.
Well, in California, I have a condition. In California, we want them to have voter ID so the people have a voice, because right now the people don't have a voice because you don't know who's voting, and it's very corrupt. And we also want them to release the water. If they released the water, they wouldn't have had a problem. If they released the water when I told them to, because I told them to do it 7 years ago.
Trump also blasted Bass and Newsom multiple times on social media, going so far as to refer to the California governor as new scum. Always so classy, that Donald. Once again, for the record, speaking as a Californian and someone displaced by the fires, you can find my other videos I filmed while evacuating here on our channel. Water was not the issue. This was an unprecedented crisis. Trump's claims that Los Angeles or the state of California somehow engineered this disaster are ludicrous, as is Trump's claim that Los Angeles rejected water from Northern California. The water reserves he is talking about are more than 500 miles away from the area, and we lack the infrastructure to transport them here. No wonder Newsom has finally blown his stack at Trump. Donald Trump also announced that he would tour the disaster areas around Los Angeles late today. He didn't exactly make himself ready for a warm welcome, though. While touring North Carolina and the destruction of Hurricane Helene, Trump had this to say earlier today.
Funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy?
I want to see two things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen.
Perhaps that's why Gavin Newsom has struck back, and hard. With Trump en route to Los Angeles, the governor's office released a statement, harpooning Trump in no uncertain terms. He also posted it to social media. Newsom, speaking through his press office, said, quote, "Conditioning aid for American citizens is wrong. Fact, Under current California law, you must be a California resident and a U.S. citizen and attest to being one under penalty of perjury, and provide a form of ID, such as a driver's license or passport, that has been approved by the Secretary of State in order to register to vote. Fact: 15 states do not generally require voter ID at polls, including Nevada and Pennsylvania, 2 states won by President Trump. The California Secretary of State website also adds that convicted felons are not allowed to vote in the state of California, meaning Donald Trump would not be allowed to vote if he lived here. Newsom also went on to point out that California pumps as much water now as it could under prior Trump-era policies. The governor's office even provided this handy graphic showing that California's water shortage began long ago and that Trump's policies did nothing in his first term to alleviate them. Trump may have chosen the wrong opponent this time. Despite a warm handshake and a hug upon Trump's arrival in Los Angeles, don't expect Newsom to relent in his defense of California or his criticism of Trump. Political insiders have long suspected that Newsom wants to make a run for the presidency himself. His name was routinely touted last year as a possible replacement should Joe Biden withdraw from the race. Newsom has also shown himself to be a politician that stands his ground and doesn't shy away from sparring. Last year, for example, he appeared on Fox News to debate Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on policy. In case you missed it, Newsom won. So, could this strike against Trump be the beginning of a Newsom 2028 campaign? Time will tell. For now, though, don't expect the state of California to pass any new voter ID laws anytime soon. For Occupy Democrats, I'm David Reddish.